Hello, everyone. I have a wild story about a school shooting at Joppatowne High School in Joppatowne, Maryland, that happened in 2024 to share with you today. It's not exactly what it sounds like, though. With that being said, let's get right into it. At approximately 12:36 p.m. on September 6, 2024, deputies from the Harford County Sheriff's Office Southern Precinct were dispatched to Joppatowne High School for reports of an active shooter. A sheriff's office school resource officer assigned to the school was in the school and immediately responded to identify and address the threat. Patrol deputies and law enforcement support from allied agencies began to arrive within 2 minutes and entered the school, forming contact teams to search for the assailant. Students evacuated a 15-year-old Joppatowne High School student suffering from a gunshot wound from the interior of the school to the school entry, where school nurses, staff, and students provided care and support. County medics took over medical care and transferred the student to Maryland State Police medics, who transported him by helicopter to Johns Hopkins Bayview Hospital. Unfortunately, the student Warren Curtis Grant, 15 of Edgewood, succumbed to his injuries after arrival. Harford County Sheriff's Office deputies, supported by dozens of allied law enforcement officers from the Maryland State Police, Baltimore County Police, Bel Air Police, Aberdeen Police, and Havard and Grace Police, accompanied by the Maryland Transportation Authority, Maryland National Resources Police, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, Homeland Security, and other investigators, secured the school and surrounding areas, then conducted a methodical search for additional victims and those who sheltered in place, and began evacuations with the help of staff, and worked with Harford County Department of Emergency Services to initiate reunification protocols. Detectives from the Criminal Investigations Division initiated an investigation. Detectives leveraged technology, and a person who was believed to be the assailant was identified. This information was provided to law enforcement canvassing the neighborhoods around the school. A short time later, at 12:50 p.m., citizens contacted the Emergency Operations Center reporting a suspicious subject attempting to break into a house. Deputies in the area searching for the suspect immediately responded and took the individual, Jalen Rashawn Prince, 16 of Edgewood, into custody at 12:52 p.m. Prince is a student at Joppatowne High School. The arrest was made without incident.
It's the horror we hear about all too often in this country, and tragically, it happened here at home today. A student brought a gun to school, and tonight, the Joppatowne High School community left reeling after the fact that one of its own was killed in school. Investigators say a fight took place around lunchtime inside the first floor bathroom. WJZ still working to learn what exactly took place during that fight, but we know moments later a single gunshot was fired. Our team coverage tonight continues at 6 o'clock with WJZ investigator Mike Helgren and our Harford County community reporter Jessica Albert. But let's begin with Mike, who has the latest on this investigation and new developments at this hour. Mike, good evening.
Good evening, Rick. Good evening, everybody. Tonight we're hearing from the principal of Joppatowne High School, who rushed to that bathroom right after the shooting. She remains shaken. The victim in this case, 15-year-old Warren Curtis Grant of Edgewood, is dead. He was rushed to shock trauma. Doctors could not save him. The superintendent and sheriff both offered their condolences.
First and foremost, our thoughts and prayers are with the family of this amazing young man, with his friends, with all of our staff members, with all of our students.
A 15-year-old student at Joppatowne High School, Warren Curtis Grant, died after being shot one time in a first-floor bathroom just after 12:30 this afternoon. A 16-year-old student, the suspect, is in custody. The school's principal immediately responded to the scene.
Joppatowne is a loving and strong community who will, without a doubt, rally among our families, support one another, and continue to support our community and all of our families.
We are not still releasing the name of the suspect in this case. He is, as I said, a 16-year-old, also a student at the school. He has yet to be charged, but will be charged, and at the time those charges are preferred as an adult.
This is the chilling scene as students were evacuated from the school.
I was walking to class and then I saw people running past me. Someone ran outside the school and I was about to run out too, but then I heard the gunshot go off. Then I ran to the gym.
I feel traumatized. I never thought that was going to happen. I didn't know what to expect. I just heard evacuation. We had to leave. We started running. I just got scared.
More than 100 officers responded within 15 minutes. with a school resource officer immediately on the scene.
I have a couple of little cousins who go here, and one of my little cousins was actually best friends with said victim. And right now, everybody is in an uproar. Everybody is uncomfortable. They're scared. And it's the school year just started. This is for our kids to come and learn and get an education, and they're getting hurt. So, all in all, I just pray for every child, every parent that has to feel what they're feeling going with this right now. It's very scary. It's very scary.
The weapon has yet to be recovered, and counseling will be available for all students.
When our staff and students return to the school, we will have a great deal of support available for them. We don't yet have a final decision on exactly how we will approach things Monday, but our community just needs to stay tuned. We'll announce something to them no later than tomorrow.
Now, today, the sheriff expressed frustration with state law that because of the suspect's age, he cannot question him.
Reunification of students was completed at 3:28 p.m. The events leading up to the incident and their relationship were initially unknown. However, information surfaced that Grant and Prince were known to each other prior to the shooting. While an arrest had been made, sheriff's detectives continued their investigation.
Those in the direct vicinity didn't know what to do, but this is the reunification center. Earlier, there were hundreds of parents, teachers, and students here. I saw them running into each other's arms, many screaming, crying. This was traumatizing for the school and for the community as a whole. You can see this is what's left at the reunification center. We just have the command center, which is packing up, and then this roadway, which has been blocked off leading to the school. But earlier, this was full of folks where they reunified. The students I talked to, they tell me they heard a single gunshot. It happened during passing period. Like I said, those who were directly in the vicinity, they heard the gunshot. They ran. Others, when they were in the classroom, they were told to shelter, turn off the lights, and stay away from windows. They were soon told to evacuate behind the school before being evacuated to this church just a couple blocks away where they found their parents. Listen to what one student told me with permission of her mother who was standing next to her. She told me what she heard, her reaction when this happened. Take a listen.
I was walking towards class, and it was right next to the door, and I just heard like a loud pop. Like I didn't even know what it was. I just heard a loud pop, and then I just saw everybody running. I didn't see anything, but I just ran with them, and it was I didn't know what was happening at first, and I didn't believe anything was happening, but I kept going, and that's when everybody stopped running. So we started walking back, but then they started running again.
Yeah, a chaotic scene there. She was directly nearby where it happened. She eventually made it to the reunification center where I met her and her mother. She is now home with her family. Now, there are going to be resources provided by the school district to any family who needs them because, like I said, this is traumatizing for students and families to go through. So there are those resources available. For now, live in Joppatowne, I'm Tommy Clark, WBAL TV 11 News.
Governor Wes Moore released a statement after the shooting saying, "The First Lady and I are heartbroken for the Joppatowne community as we grieve the loss of a life cut short. Maryland prays for the young victim of this senseless act, Warren Curtis Grant, as well as his family, friends, teachers, mentors, and loved ones. We are thankful to local authorities, the Maryland State Police, first responders, school staff, and many other leaders for their swift response. I've been in touch with Harford County Executive Bob Casilli, and our administration stands ready to lend full support to authorities as they conduct a thorough investigation into this matter. Every Marylander deserves to feel safe at school. Our administration will continue to support families, grassroots leaders, local law enforcement, and all of our partners as we work together to keep our schools, our communities, and our entire state safe. May we always remember our solemn obligation to build a better future for our children." Jalen Prince, 16, was later found guilty of first-degree murder in the fatal shooting of Warren Grant, 15, in a school bathroom on September 6, 2024. The jury also found Prince guilty on firearms charges, and after closing arguments, the jury began deliberating on 9 criminal counts. There were 3 new charges added since his arrest in September. The new charges were gun offenses, including having a handgun on public school property. The jury reached a verdict after a little more than 3 hours of deliberation. In addition to first-degree murder, Prince was charged with use of a firearm in commission of a felony, minor in possession of a firearm, dangerous weapon on school property, loaded handgun on a person, and handgun on a person. Price could face a life sentence plus 28 years at sentencing in September. Harford County State's Attorney Allison Healy released a statement after the verdict saying, "We are very proud today to have given justice to the victim's family. At 15 years old, his life was taken by this defendant far too soon in a place that is supposed to be safe for the children of our communities. There is absolutely no justifiable reason for a 16-year-old to be armed with a firearm, especially in the halls of our high schools. It is my hope that this case sends a clear message that if you make adult decisions that take the life of another, there will be adult consequences." In her closing argument, Healy called Prince the aggressor leading up to Grant's killing. "The defendant is the aggressor at each and every stage of this confrontation. He raises the level every single time," Healy said. "This isn't an accident. Jalen Prince cocked the gun, and it went off 3 seconds later. He made a choice. He chose violence."
Reaction in the courtroom when the verdict was read was silence. The people in the gallery followed the judge's instructions. No outburst, no emotion. He said he knows this has been a very emotional case. People have been emotional throughout these proceedings in the last 2 weeks. But as the jury announced what it had decided, you could hear a pin drop in there. I did not see Jalen Prince's mother in the courtroom. She may have slipped in behind me when I didn't see. But we do know that the family of the victim, Warren Grant, was in there. They're stoic. They're very sad. This is a really sad day for them. Their 15-year-old, Warren Grant, was shot one time and killed by a bullet that was fired by 16-year-old Jalen Prince. That's what the jury decided. After a fight, in the midst of a fight in the first floor boys' bathroom at Joppatowne High School between third and fourth period. Mr. Prince tried to argue. These are some of the family members of the victim, some other witnesses who testified, some loved ones of the victim. We are not going to chase them. We promised them that we wouldn't. If they want to talk to us, they know that they can come over here and talk to us. But they do not need additional trauma added to their lives, as has already been the case so far. So these are people who loved Warren Grant. Some people are related to witnesses. There was a lot of boys who were in the bathroom during that fight in which Warren Grant was shot, the one shot that killed him, and they attended this trial every single day. We know Grant's father has been here every day, and his other family members, they haven't come out yet. But here's the gist of it. The state said Mr. Prince bought a gun, loaded it with 6 bullets, went to school that day intending to use it. He instigated a fight in the bathroom. He repeatedly pushed up on and crept up on Grant. Grant kept walking backwards. He was the aggressor. And then he told him, "I'm going to kill you," 4 times, which you could hear on cell phone video of the fight in the bathroom. And then at 53 seconds into that video, you could hear the gun cocking. 3 seconds later, you heard the shot that ultimately killed Warren Grant. The state said, "You've seen all the video. It's all there." And it shows first-degree murder, that this was willful, premeditated, deliberate, that he did this with intent. Then, because he was found guilty on first-degree murder, he was also found guilty of a series of firearms charges and related to that. 5 firearms counts, including use of a firearm in the commission of a crime of violence. There is carrying a loaded firearm. There's carrying a firearm on school property, being a minor in possession of a firearm. So at this point, based on the 6 counts that the jury decided he was guilty of today, when he's sentenced, Jalen Prince is facing life plus 40 years at least, by my calculation. So what is happening now? The jury was thanked. They will be escorted out of the building. They've been escorted in and out every day. Here's some more loved ones of the victim, Warren Grant. If you guys want to talk to us, we're here. If you don't, you can walk out. There's his father and his loved ones. They didn't want to talk. We told them we'd give them their space. It's been a really emotional day, really tough trial for them. And we have not seen yet, I do not believe the family of the defendant, who was just convicted of first-degree murder, I don't think they were in the courtroom. So the defense didn't work. They tried to say it was self-defense. They tried to say just convicted him on the handgun charges. He admitted he brought a gun to school. Well, the jury did convict him on those firearms counts in addition to the one connected to the first-degree murder count. So this happened last year. It's been less than a year. The jury said the 16-year-old did it, that he murdered a classmate in a school bathroom last September 6th. He's now facing life plus some 40 years behind bars when he's sentenced. We'll send it back to you in the studio.
Exhibiting great sensitivity in a very difficult trial. Thank you. And for a full recap of this investigation and trial, make sure to use the WBAL TV 11 mobile app.
I remember seeing this all over the news last year. My aunt lives right up the street from Joppatowne High School. Thankfully, my nephew already graduated a few years before this happened, and no one I know personally was involved or directly affected by this tragic event. It's literally one of my worst nightmares to get a call about an active shooter at my daughter's school. I don't know what I would do. I just hope no one ever has to get that phone call. Rest in peace to Warren Graham. My heart goes out to his family and loved ones. Thank you all for watching. And as usual, if you're a fan of urban legends, folklore, unsolved mysteries, cold cases, and all things mysterious, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel.